This is my reflection from Module 6. Ada and Canopy Unit 5 speaks about transformation. People and things move from one stage to another. It can be getting older or a change of learning and experience. All social transformation begin within an individual, the person itself. Society is made of institutions and norms. Improving society means you have to transform existing situations in institutions into norms. Human beings devise ways to live in an hospitable environment. Every day we explore to create new ideas and information. When it comes to social evils, human beings make excuses and defend limitation. Some experience social transformation and try to find ways to improve society. So we need to make a change so we can move from one stage to another in our life. The French Revolution have made change to the Western history and it's relevant throughout the world today. Their lasting effect was on the movement for independence in many Latin American nations. The objective is to learn new ideas. The most striking part is the story of Icarus. Icarus is the only one of the many failed attempts to develop flying machines. However, some attempts failed and ended in catastrophe. Regardless, these were intention to fly did not stop them until this present time. Human beings still continue to explore. So regardless of what happened and what challenges we face, we still continue to research and to find ways to do the things that we really want to do. If we do not apply the same principles of transformation we do with the physical transformation, if we need a peaceful society, we need to find ways to show respect and love among human beings. We need to begin within ourselves, take it to the wider society. We need to motivate and encourage a younger generation by creating opportunities to develop peace management skill, respect conduct. The activities created that are designed to help students reflect on the differences between how things are and how things will be. In the creative literacy process, the teacher can select a book to engage the students. Before you begin, try to ask students questions to see what they know about the topic, and then after you finish the book you continue to ask questions to initiate a dialogue with the student. Very interesting in the kingdom of geometry. That story really interests me. I sat at work and I smiled. In the kingdom of geometry, the main idea is a catastrophic effect of discrimination and racism. The people were persistent and brave, and this led to solution to the many problems. It was very interesting how the shapes came up with the brilliant idea of coming together to form the square, and this is called a perfect transformation. I came up on some reasons to promote higher thinking level skills. When we read, we need to think about the situation, ask open-ended questions that will generate an explanation. In the creation of the teacher's book, this might be a way to make a change. Teachers may approach transformation in either a positive or a negative way, but we always have to try to find a solution to change a negative into a positive. Sometimes you feel so bad about a situation, but when you sit and really think about it, you can make that change, you can make that transformation and turn that situation to a good situation. In the ending of the story of the kingdom of geometry, it was a happy ending. In the book you can make comparison and contrast to the situation that needs to be changed. This part was also striking about Valerie Andriola, the teacher in California. She wrote the book about her family and the student. And after the drive-by shooting resulted in the death of one of her students, and at the funeral and at the wake, she displayed the pictures. She created the book Your Light, Flowers and Song. Very interesting and mournful. In creating the student collective the book, in creating the students collective book, How Will We Make the World a Better Place will help students to reflect and create effective change to make the world better. The activity shared in chapter is interesting and it's a good way to ask questions, generate ideas so we can find solutions to make a transformation. At the end of creating the book, students can share the books with friends, families, and the wider community. Everyone can make a change to his or her life, even young children. Just help them to understand what change they would like to make. Help them to write it on a paper and try to create an activity and ask them how they plan to bring about the change. Changes can be brought about in life in various situations such as migration, divorce, and death. Sometimes we feel so disappointed, but by presenting the information about change and facilitating dialogue with your students, with your parents, with your friends, you can make a change. This can be helpful ways to make changes. In the poem written by Diane Doloff, I used to speak about her current situation and her past. I was able to create a visual image of the transformation in the poem, helping students to identify who you are and who I was and I am today is an excellent way to explain the process of transformation. This is a way to help them feel that life is more meaningful. This book is written by Julie Hudson. I wasn't always a teacher is an aspiring way to speak about transformation, and also the book Who I Was and Who I Am. This book tells the life story from 2 years until her present life as a teacher. So she wasn't a teacher and she's explaining what happened from she was 2 years old until presently she was a teacher. In making transformation, it can be very challenging. It can be very challenging for you and for everyone, but you have to keep focus in order to achieve. In tablet chapter 5, it's about different progress at different stages. After 9 months of Spanish speaking, children are able to speak the second language. One of the child within 3 months was making great improvement and 2 others was getting better. One Fillmore believed language acquisition had to do with cognitive development and the social factors. If the strategies are employed effectively, you will see great achievement in learning the second language. By joining group activities and interacting with the other students in the class activities, demonstrate that the child is ready to be a part of the social network. The second language learner will need to make an assumption in certain situations. When the second language learner starts to speak more fluently, using more vocabulary words, so that he or she starts sounding like the other kids, then you know that she is ready to be a part of the social group. A child who does not use telegraphic and formulatic phrase will have less information about the second language and less opportunity to use his or her cognitive process. The second language learner should be willing to take chances and ignore mistakes and move on. It is a learning process, so they just have to take the risk and move on. Make the mistake and move on. It is learning. To develop and make the progress, the second language learner must have friends, family, and teachers who really speak the second language. The underlying factor based on learning a second language are motivation. The child must really want to learn and show interest that they want to learn. They must make the decision. Some children do not want to learn the language. They show little or no interest. Sometimes they find speaking English a real challenge. The child will interact with the other students who really speak their own language. Sometimes the child may develop receptive understanding of English, but they must be motivated to speak the language. Young children may not want to learn a new language based on what their parents say, something negative about the language, or they don't see it as a priority. Maybe they're just a visitor to the country, they don't really need to speak the language. The young child thinks it is time consuming and challenging. If children want to learn the language, they must be motivated. They are encouraged. And exposure, it gives the child the opportunity to speak the second language. A perfect example is Akimi's first day at school. She went into the playhouse and she picked up the phone and she started asking a question. The amount of time spent in contact with the new language is important for the second language learners' progress and development. And age also plays a major factor. Young children are at an advantage of learning the second language because of the cognitive demand. Young children spend a longer time in nonverbal periods than older children and will move from one stage to another much faster than the other learner. And personality is the way an individual develops approaches to the second language, learning from their personality. They are shy and reserved, and they need to move to a more outgoing person and a more sociable person. Let's look at Nora. She was brave and motivated, and she wanted to be a part of the social group that spoke the new language. And unlike one who avoided the people who did not speak his own language. In the PowerPoint presentation, the main objective is to examine the picture word inclusive model and how it can be effective and what can go wrong with using the model. The model will help the learners to build sight words, learn vocabulary, write sentences and paragraphs, and help them to be powerful language learner. In the scaffolding strategies, it's an instructional technique where teacher provides support for the learners until they are able to work on their own or independently. It is a very effective way to engage students in the classroom. Thank you very much.